My spouse worked as an instructor at a boys' gym, and despite the warnings of those around me, I trusted her completely. However, one day, I discovered that my wife was spending time with 4 boys each day. I am 31 years old right now. My wife works as an instructor at a gym exclusively for men. She was fit and had a background in social advertising. Our paths first crossed in the morning park, where she often jogged. I watched her from afar, mesmerized by her beauty. During the training, I suddenly lost consciousness, and it was her quick action that saved me in this difficult situation. Thanks to her, my life was saved. After that incident, we began to communicate daily in the park, and one day our love blossomed. Subsequently, we developed a relationship, and just a year ago, we celebrated our wedding. After she started coming to my house, her healthy lifestyle gradually became the norm. Unfortunately, at this time, I found myself gaining weight. She made me work out regularly and was very careful about my diet and nutrition. However, when my friends found out that my wife, who's not only beautiful but also works at a men's gym, is constantly surrounded by tall and handsome men who also work there, they started whispering unfounded rumors in my ears. I've been told, your wife is incredibly beautiful, but you sent her to a place full of male bodybuilders, a gym exclusively for men. These men are not only beautiful, but they have amazing physiques. Consider asking her to leave that job. Let her know that if she chooses to work elsewhere, it's fine, but continuing at that gym might lead to trouble down the road. Nevertheless, I had full faith in my wife and didn't want her to think I was jealous or suspicious. It's worth noting that we had already discussed this matter. She herself acknowledged that she shouldn't be working at that place. However, since she couldn't find employment elsewhere and was covering most of the household expenses, it was a challenging situation. If she were to leave that job because my own employment wasn't very stable, I could only manage to provide for our basic needs, and that might not be sufficient. We need to cover our house rent and car insurance, and on top of that, we want to attend parties that we both enjoy. After all, everyone likes to have fun. Our life is incredibly beautiful, and we should cherish these moments. Currently, we are basking in the honeymoon phase of our marriage, and my heart is overflowing with love for my wife. I adore her deeply. We used to share a life together, sitting side by side, and in those moments, I found it difficult to restrain myself. We remained in each other's embrace constantly. During the work week, we dedicated ourselves to work, and on the weekend, we relaxed, spending all our time in each other's company. We drank, ate delicious food, and just had a great time together. We loved each other. My wife made quite a bit of money. However, something happened that made me worry. Out of the blue, my wife lost consciousness one day, and I became very alarmed. I rushed to the doctor, who was also surprised about it. The doctor then ran many tests, and then informed me that once the test results were ready, he would contact me when it was safe to pick up my wife. I couldn't understand what had happened to me. It had never occurred before. When the test results arrived, we both went to the doctor's office in the evening. By then, my wife's health had improved. The doctor explained that my wife seemed quite healthy. He advised us to be apart for a while, as being too close to each other seemed to be taking its toll on both of us, especially on her health. I informed the doctor that there were no unusual problems and everything was normal. However, the doctor advised us to stay away from each other for the time being. I readily agreed, as nothing is more important to me than my wife's health. I heeded the doctor's counsel, and my wife expressed concern about my health affecting my work. She added that she didn't want to be apart from me, but acknowledged that being together might lead to a lack of self-control. I committed to working extra hours, which resulted in me coming home late at night. I counseled my wife not to overextend herself. I emphasized the importance of compromise in these situations. It was very difficult for me to be separated from my beloved. Although we were married for a short time, we had strong feelings for each other. Nevertheless, I had to make such sacrifices for her health. She would often come home late at night completely exhausted. I gently reminded her not to exert herself too much, but the state of her health was worrisome. There was a significant influx of money in our home mainly due to her efforts, which was just astounding to me. Why are these people willing to pay such substantial sums of money? One day, while browsing the internet, I came across her gym's website and noticed that there were vacancies on it. On the website, along with the job postings, there was salary information listed. I noticed that the instructor's salary was only $2,000. This made me wonder where all this money was coming from, considering her salary is small. What could explain such a stark difference? I thought about the fact that maybe she was succeeding in her job, considering she mentioned tipping people. However, it gave the impression that she was getting tips from a lot of people. When I visited her gym, I saw her there but did not approach her. Instead, I asked the manager about the gym's tip policy. The manager responded, "What kind of tip are you referring to? This isn't a hotel where tipping is customary. Tipping is customary and there's no one here to accept tips." I replied, "Well, I thought that if an instructor does excellent work, it's only fair to offer them some extra compensation, you know?" He explained that regardless of whether the instructor's performance was good or bad, they wouldn't receive a single penny beyond their salary. One morning, I decided to activate the location tracking feature on her mobile phone and monitored it throughout the entire day. She was at the gym all day, not going anywhere. Before this, I thought she might have been cheating on me by working elsewhere. But now it's clear that whatever she was earning and whatever she was involved in, it was all happening here at the gym. The supervisor made it clear that other than salary, there were no additional benefits at the gym. This left me wondering how she was making such a substantial income. I couldn't help but wonder why she told me this particular lie, even though a different story might have been more convincing. So I found myself with only one choice. I reached out to a friend of mine and asked him to, sort of infiltrate my wife's life by pretending to join the gym and then attempt to develop a connection with her. My friend was experienced in such matters, physically fit. He agreed to my request and promptly enrolled at the gym the very next day. We decided it would take some time to put together a final report. However, a week later, my friend shared something with me that came as a shock to me. He told me something that is hard for me to put into words. He told me that my wife was behaving inappropriately with several people, and that she was doing it with 4 or 5 people during the day. These same people give her money, and she doesn't seem to care about the consequences. She participated willingly and didn't seem coerced. So she took the final step and suggested that I engage in physical intimacy with her. She had engaged in inappropriate activity at the gym, and not with one person, but with several people. All of this happened in one day, and she had 4 clients in one day. Even the gym staff did not seem to be aware of these activities, although it is possible that some individuals in the gym were aware of what was going on. I'm sorry to share this with you, but the lies you wanted to expose are truly appalling. I've no intention of going back there again, my friend added. However, what I shared with you is absolutely true. I don't understand why my wife would behave in such a manner. After all, what brought us to this point? What was missing in our lives? These are the questions that keep me going. We often went to the movies, dined at expensive restaurants, drank quality drinks, all in our money. I was providing her with a normal life, but apparently she wanted more. The problem was that she was getting money in a questionable way, and she deviated so much from the right way that I couldn't continue to live with her. I couldn't stand her presence. I couldn't stand her presence anymore. She had more than one man. She cheated on me with many, and I don't even know how long the cheating lasted. I told her about it when she came home. I asked my friend to get some proof. He took several photographs and recorded conversations in which my wife suggested having an affair with him. My wife shamefully hung her head and reluctantly admitted, "I regret my actions, but this is my life, and this is what I wanted. I will continue to do so. I'm happy with it, but from now on, I will live my life on my own terms. Now when I go to the park or a restaurant or any place to drink, I'll go alone. I confess my love and trust to you, and you betrayed me like that. Even though you are my wife, you chose to behave like this. I loved you and trusted you, but you betrayed that trust. You chose to cheat on me for no apparent reason or compulsion. You explained that you did it for your own pleasure. I am deeply saddened that my wife cheated on me and even more saddened by the lack of remorse or shame in your actions. Was it fair for me to be treated in such a manner? I was overwhelmed with sadness and retreated to my room. I didn't have to request her to leave the house. She had already disappeared by morning, leaving behind the wedding ring I had given her. It was placed in front of one of our photographs, and all she left behind for me was that ring. In the end, my friend's words rang true. They warned me that this woman would eventually betray me, and indeed she did the same to me, despite my love for her. I find myself questioning what I did wrong. I'm currently living this way, and I've lost the heart to trust anyone else at this point. Thank you for listening to this story to the end, and if you like it, please support us with a like as well as subscribe to our channel. Write in the comments what you think about the story.